For the past 3 months, there's been 2 trailers for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and these trailers really got people talking. The FNAF movie, whether you like it or not, is actually gonna leave an impact when it comes to video game adaptations. And I am here today to talk about the history of the FNAF movie and the impact that it's gonna leave behind. I know there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the franchise, and many people question whether it will work as a movie. But hear me out, because I truly believe that Five Nights at Freddy's franchise has all of the elements to make an incredibly exciting and terrifying film. First things first, let's talk about the story. The Five Nights at Freddy's franchise already has a huge amount of lore in it, from mysterious disappearances of children to haunted animatronics. There is so much to explore in a movie adaptation. I mean, imagine how cool it would be if we saw the spring lock failure. Imagine the reaction from fans and from people who are new to Five Nights at Freddy's. But for the most part, we all know the Five Nights at Freddy's story, right? Kids get killed by the purple guy and their bodies are stuffed into the animatronic suits. Now let me ask you guys a question. Does that concept sound like a PG-13 movie or an R-rated movie? Personally, for my own enjoyment, I would have liked the movie to be rated R. I feel like replicating some of the scenes from the game into a movie would be really cool. But at the same time, some of the scenes would also have to be very gruesome, like the bite of 83 or Mike getting scooped, and again, the spring lock failure. Out of those 3, I feel like we're gonna see the spring lock failure, seeing how we already know Springtrap is gonna be in the movie, and they don't really have to show what's going on inside the suit. And speaking of Springtrap, I actually believe that FNAF movie is gonna end how FNAF 3 ended, with all of the kids' spirits coming together in order to attack Afton, leading to Afton getting spring locked. But hey, that's just a theory. Okay, so we know that FNAF movie has been in the making for about 7 years, and there has been a lot of back and forth about which company was going to make the FNAF movie. At first, it was going to be Warner Bros. They had trouble creating the movie, and Scott felt like he didn't have enough control, so it was cancelled. But then, the FNAF movie was picked up by Blumhouse Studio, and so that left Warner with a script and the idea of making killer animatronics. And so this is how the banana splits were born. I watched this movie when it originally came out, and I thought it was decent. There were a lot of parts in the movie that definitely made it unsettling and scary. Like, surprisingly, the movie was shot really good in my opinion. But I feel like the main draw of the movie has to be the gore. They were really creative in the gory parts of the movie, and this is really surprising because this movie was originally supposed to be FNAF. Some of the kills are actually really creative and goofy, which in a way kind of make the movie really fun. However, that's the only element of the movie that stands out, the ideas. After the movie is over, there really isn't that much to be desired. They did tease a sequel, but it never came out. I think this is a movie that I'm gonna watch once and never watch again. It's really forgettable, but it's still a good time. But this movie was only made because Scott was working with Warner Brothers. But a movie that is completely unrelated and managed to copy FNAF is Willy's Wonderland. At first, I wanted to watch this movie because I could tell that this movie drew a lot of inspiration from FNAF, but I couldn't be more wrong. This movie is so different. While the banana splits try making scary scenes, this movie does not. Well, they try a couple of times, but it doesn't work. But as soon as I saw Nicolas Cage fighting an animatronic ostrich, I knew that I was in for a ride. This is definitely one of those fun bad movies, so amazingly stupid that it kinda makes the whole movie fun. Like, for example, this turtle right here. The turtle does nothing for the whole duration of the movie, but then when one of the main characters tries to escape, the turtle chokes the cop from above the car and kills him. So you expect me to believe that this animatronic turtle, who has done nothing in the whole movie, was running on top of the car from the pizzeria into the woods without falling, and only when they're in the woods he decides to attack. And then he gets taken out, but not from a gunshot, but from getting hit by a gun. I could make a whole video trashing this movie, but today we're talking about FNAF. I brought these examples up because I wanted to point out how the FNAF movie should be. I don't need an animatronic fighting another animatronic using karate. I don't need to see Nicolas Cage rip up parts and gears and be covered in oil while fighting animatronics. What we need to see is a movie that captures the essence of Five Nights at Freddy's games. Imagine seeing the intense and nerve-wracking atmosphere of the games with the right direction and screenplay that delves into the origins of the animatronics and the secrets of the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. If this can be replicated correctly, we could have a horror movie that keeps us on edge throughout start to finish. And let's not forget about the novels. Scott Cawthon, the creator of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, expanded the series with a variety of fantastic books. These books can be used as inspiration for the movie, offering new characters and storylines that can be replicated into the plot. But not only that, depending on how successful the Five Nights at Freddy's movie might be, I can see that Fazbear Frights getting its own TV show. Something that kept the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise alive is the incredibly passionate community. So you can imagine the excitement of the fans when this movie was announced initially, and because of those fans, the movie is going to do well financially. Of course, the movie is going to draw a lot of new fans, people who are new to Five Nights at Freddy's. That's why there are probably gonna be elements that might be absent from the movie. You know, that way the movie and the lore can stay simple. But what separates FNAF fans and from other communities is the fact that FNAF fans has very loyal fans. I mean, just look at the amount of fan games there are. Not to mention the lost VHS tapes on YouTube. These VHS tapes in particular are very cinematic and creative. Hopefully the people at Blumhouse are able to see the creative ideas and the passion that FNAF community has. And one way to acknowledge that is making scenes that are inspired by the VHS tapes. As a matter of fact, we can already see that Blumhouse has an appreciation of the community by seeing FNAF YouTubers be put on the movie. So hopefully we can see similar Easter eggs and references when the movie comes out. Now let's remember one important element. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie is a video game movie, and because of that, I understand the skepticism. Video game to movie adaptations don't always live up to our expectations, but we've seen recent successes with movies like Detective Pikachu, Sonic the Hedgehog, and most recently, the Mario Bros. Movie. These films found the original balance between nostalgia and introducing the story to new audiences. As we know in the past, video game adaptations haven't been always good, but only now recently with these movies, we have seen that video game adaptations can be a respectable movie and very profitable too. But what separates the FNAF movie from these films is the fact that FNAF is an indie game. This game was created by one person, Scott Cawthon, and because of that, the fact that the movie is being made at all is really amazing. Studios want to make money, and when it comes to video game adaptations, the goal most of the time is to sell tickets because of nostalgia. But that's not the case with the FNAF movie. Yes, there is a level of nostalgia, but FNAF is not as well known as Sonic or Mario, and given the fact that FNAF movie was announced during 2015, back where the game was not as popular as it is today, with all this in mind, we can see the sole purpose of the creation of this movie is to satisfy the fans. I feel like Scott Cawthon made this movie not to make money, but to make the FNAF fans happy, and that is just great. In conclusion, I might be biased as a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, but I truly believe that Five Nights at Freddy's movie has what it takes in order to be a good, exciting movie. I feel like this movie is gonna do well financially, and hopefully they're gonna make a sequel one day. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Are you guys gonna watch it? Are you guys excited about it? Let me know in the comments. And with that, I leave today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new or if you like my channel, and yeah, I guess I will see you guys in the next video. See you.